Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam, ala rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Jazakallah khairan for joining. It's been a very interesting day, an emotional roller coaster. Just a hands up, if you could use the hands up feature, raise your hands. For those who didn't manage the book, who didn't manage the book. I had a few hands up, got some thumbs up. Prayer. May Allah bless you. May Allah accept your efforts, the intention, the niyyah, like that you're making your best to book, inshallah. You use your chat feature. What was the whole purpose of today? The whole purpose of this particular webinar is that we're having a debrief. We're having a debrief to see, from the phase one sales, what happened, what didn't happen. How's everyone feeling post this? What was your take from that? I'm saying that to buy time as well, just giving it one more minute, but just it's good that we can understand how people, the roller coaster, what they went through in terms of their journey through the nusuk process. How was it? Use the chat feature. Confused? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. True indeed. Yeah. Any other emotions people have? Despite not despite not getting still at peace, it is a test. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. It was anxious. It's true. True. Then we feel the anxiety with you. We generally feel the anxiety with you, seeing that timer going up and down, feeling good. Allah tells us to tie our camel, then put our trust in Him. I hope that I am doing just enough to please Allah in regards of getting the package. It's true. Alhamdulillah. May Allah accept you. It's having the right intention when you're doing it. It's having that intention while you're going through the process. It's ibadah, like we say, whether you get it or you don't get it. It's a test that Allah puts us through to see our niyyah, how are we in that moment. Okay, Jazakallah khairan. We'll make a start. Sales and strategy. Hang on. Need to share my screen. Bear me 1 second. So that everyone can see my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Is my screen showing for everybody?
Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Okay. So sales strategy, as we said, it's a debrief. We're going to go through a few points. I will cover the first slide to a certain extent, and then Yunus will help us through any further information, and we'll have a Q&A. We will have a Q&A to run through. So do put your questions. If you've got questions, put your questions in the Q&A box, but you can use the chat box to put any comments, any feedback, anything that you would like to share with us. We keep our eye on both of them, obviously, inshallah. So phase one debrief. So the queue system implemented, that was pretty much new. It worked. I mean, too much of all the frustration that we're sitting in the queue and you're seeing the timer going up and down, not knowing whether it's coming, it's going. 1 second is 1 minute, the next second is after Hajj that you'll be able to get through. But the queue system worked, and I think it was a smoother process in that respect. The sales started later than we anticipated. Normally we expect 12 o'clock, but they started 12:20, but they didn't make any announcements, any changes. So I think they just went with it. And then we saw from that point onwards, from 20 past, it started to get a little bit smoother. The system started to kick into life in that sense. And once the people got past the queue, they were able to purchase. So, I don't think there were feedback about the OTP code getting delayed. Well, I don't think we heard much of that at all. I didn't hear any of that. I mean, last year there was an absolute chaos and OTPs not coming through, but it seems that the queue system worked in that sense. And after 40 minutes, the quota was reached for the UK. So it wasn't that the packages were sold out, it was that the country itself, the UK itself, had reached a quota of how many visas they wanted to allocate for phase one in itself. So each country has its own quota, and the quota for the UK was reached within 40 minutes in that respect. So the process at the moment, do you want to take over, Yunus, or do you want me to carry
Sure.
on?
So Nusuk, as Shafiq mentioned, brothers and sisters, so as Shafiq mentioned that, The quota was reached very quickly, as we were expecting. It's happened for the last 3, 4 years. In the same system, the quota gets reached very quickly. And now what happens is Nusuk is, gathers all the data on sales, and Rawaf themselves, they have a dashboard that tells them how many packages have been sold in general for the UK and for other places. But the specifics, they don't actually get that specific information themselves. So they'll be gathering that from Nusuk. Nusuk gathers that and then passes it on to the different companies that this is, how many people booked on these flights and this, this particular package and this particular configuration. As you can imagine, there's many. So if you book a custom flight that's using a different system, or often have access to that system. So there's many different pieces of the jigsaw that are working together, to try and put everything together. So currently they're gathering all the information. They're trying to understand what, the picture currently. And as soon as they do, they will update us basically. So they'll hold a meeting with us probably maybe tomorrow or the day after, as soon as they've got the information. And then they will update us and say, us, look, this is how many packages were sold, and these are the packages that were sold. This is how many places we've got left. This is the custom flights that were sold. This is the group flights that were sold. This is what's left for each, each of the different elements, and that will allow us to, understand the picture and get a better picture of what's happened and what will happen in the upcoming phases, inshallah ta'ala. We at the moment, the only information we have, and one of the reasons why we, emphasize on people who have booked that, get in touch with us, let us know what you've done, how many people, what package you managed to book, etc., is because that just gives us some level of picture. And it seems like, about maybe, 40 or 50% of the people that were looking to book with us managed to book, and, the same, about 40, 50 or 60%, weren't able to book in this phase. And inshallah they'll be able to book in, the upcoming phases. And just having spoken to other, companies and other groups that are out there, most had a similar kind of, similar picture, where about 40, 50%, were able to book today, and other people were not able to book. The system, like Shafiq mentioned, seemed much smoother than last year, in the sense of once you logged in, you were able to just go through the process and do the booking. Last year, people kept getting logged out, and the OTP was causing chaos for people. So, and the queue system, I guess, was the biggest kind of concern thing, where the time was just getting up to, later, etc. And but in the end, alhamdulillah, people did manage to get through. And inshallah, next round, if you think about it, 50% of the people who are looking to book managed to book in phase one, then the next round, things should be smoother anyway, inshallah, because a lot of people have already booked, and now we're waiting for those people who have not booked. In terms of before we go to bookings completed, so just to give everyone an understanding of what happened, so the bookings were opened up for all the what they call the Nusuk countries, which is about 96 countries across the world, basically. About 10 or 15 of them have sold out their quota, but bookings for the other countries are still remain open. So, for example, Germany hasn't sold out of its quota. The quota wasn't finished, so people in Germany can still book now. They can probably book tomorrow. Sometimes Nusuk switch it off and on, but in general, they can continue to book. Countries like Brazil, Ecuador, many countries out there, and they have people, not that many. They have more availability, the number of people that want to travel for Hajj from them countries. So they will allow them to continue booking over the next few days, basically, just to see, how that's going and what's happening, and what will be left. Eventually, what will happen is Nusuk will set a deadline, and they'll say, okay, from this day onwards, any visas that are left over from any of the 96 countries that are on the Nusuk system, we will put into a pot and redistribute them, particularly to the countries that are, sold out very quickly. The UK being a primary one. Again, you got France, you got USA. I think UK was one of the first countries that actually sold out. So they will redistribute them visas accordingly. So normally this allows us to double the initial quota that we have. So normally, as we've mentioned previously, that we have 3,500 or 3,800 visas initially allocated to the UK, and that normally goes to between 6,500 to 7,000 visas, over the by the end of the next phase, basically. So it just gives us opportunity for those who weren't able to book. It gives us an opportunity to understand that actually there is still a huge opportunity for me to book, and to get my place for Hajj this year, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, so just be confident about that, and don't be overstressed about it. Now, in terms of the packages and what's left, and what's remaining, like I said, that information we will get from Rawaf in the next day or two. As soon as they provide us that information, we will be able to give you that information, and then say, let's work on a strategy to make sure that in phase two that you're picking the right package, and that you're going for a package that has got spaces left, and enough allocation left for you to help you allow you to book, inshallah. So in terms of those people now who have, alhamdulillah, managed to book and complete their booking today, first and foremost, obviously, and it kind of goes for everyone, give thanks to Allah Azza wa Jal. He allowed it for you, made it easy for you. You're able to now focus on the next phase of your Hajj journey rather than going through the booking phase again. If you want to be a part of the Booking Beyond Hajj program, and I think the D is missing on the Beyond there, inform us if you haven't done so already. So we've asked people that as soon as you've booked, just message us, and we'll add you to a group which that we're creating for those people who are confirmed, and also we'll ask you for some information so that we can gather that information and understand who's coming with us, and what the how to tailor the program specifically for that. In terms of what we'll provide, we'll continue to provide support and information. Some of this includes, for example, now you've purchased, can I take my money out of my e-wallet? When will I get my documentation? What will happen, between now and Hajj? And then the other part is the preparation for Hajj. This is the critical part for us. That the other stuff most people will give you. The critical part is, how do I now prepare myself to actually complete the Hajj journey? And preparations comes from a logistical perspective. It comes from a physical perspective, medical perspective, from a spiritual perspective, which is probably the most important part. Making sure that you understand what Allah wants from us in that Hajj, how to maximize it, how to make it a transformational journey. We'll get to know each other, between now and the Hajj journey, and we'll make sure that we go together as a group and we complete the Hajj in the best way, inshallah ta'ala. Rawaf will also send you a survey. They'll send you a survey, in the next, it might be in the next few days, it might be in the next week or so, and they will ask you, for information. They will ask you for your passport pictures. They will ask you for your name, your details, etc. So when they officially contact you, so just make sure that's an official contact, that's coming from Rawaf themselves. Complete that, and complete that form. And a part of the completion of that form, they will ask you who's the group that you, or the guide that you want to be guided by. And at that stage, we ask you that you put RG-5737 as the guide that you want to be guided by, and that will allow them to link you to us officially. So initially, we'll link you to us by the information sharing between us and you, and secondly, Rawaf will link you to us by that code being used in the form, the form, inshallah ta'ala. So just keep that in mind, and make sure that you're ready for that. Apart from that, normally what will happen is we will have probably one or two webinars before Ramadan, and then after Ramadan, the serious heavy lifting in terms of preparation will start, inshallah, straight after Ramadan. Probably about 5 days after Ramadan finishes, Eid completes, we'll start doing weekly webinars. We'll start doing sessions for sisters, sessions specifically for brothers. We'll start doing sessions that speak about medical advice. We'll speak about we'll have religious programs on a weekly basis as well, with different mashayikh, Sheikh Farid primarily, but other mashayikh as well. And we'll make sure that you understand what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and how to get the best out of your Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. So that's it for those people who managed to complete their booking. In terms of those who didn't manage to complete their booking, again, give thanks to Allah. He's given you an opportunity to keep striving, to keep going through that stress. And if you have the correct intention, inshallah, that also equates to more rewards, inshallah. Wait for the information next phases. So like we mentioned, we've got understanding, as you saw from the last post that was on the group, even the Ministry of Hajj have said, like, there will be other phases. So it's very clear that there are going to be other phases, inshallah. But it just means that we're waiting for that information. Rawaf are waiting for that information from the Ministry of Hajj and Nusuk. And then, once they get that information, they'll forward it down to us, and we'll forward it down to them. Before Hajj, they did tell us it's going to be about 5 days. So we're expecting it to be Thursday or Friday, inshallah. But as you saw with phase one, things change. So don't be disheartened if it changes, if it goes. Last year I think it was about 2 3 weeks after phase one. So it could change. It most likely will change. Just stay on the group, stay connected to us. And we will keep you informed about that. As soon as we know what packages are left, how many places are in each package, what type of flights are left, and so on and so on, we will kind of align and get back to you, and we will start holding webinars again for those people who didn't complete their booking to, speak about, okay, these are the packages that we're recommending. This is why we're recommending them, and we'll give you that information as much as possible. The key thing, don't remove your money from your e-wallet. Reason why is, one is we don't know how long that will, this is for those people who haven't booked. We don't know how long that will take, and it might be a case of it takes 3 days, and during that time phase two comes, so you're not allowed to, and while it's being processed, you're not allowed to refill up your e-wallet. In some years they don't allow you, once you've withdrawn money, they don't allow you to reactivate your e-wallet. So there's a number of things. So if you're looking to go, and we know that people are going through stress, and you're thinking, is it worth it? And then maybe in a couple of days you'll feel differently. So for now, don't take the money out. If in a few days you're feeling, I don't want to go this year, it's just too stressful, or something I want to do, then then you can take your e-wallet back. While you're going through the high emotions, leave the money in the e-wallet. Just wait, inshallah. You'll be able to make that decision in a few days, and once you have a clear understanding, and inshallah, like I said, most of you, if not all of you, will be able to inshallah book on phase two, and join the caravan, join the Hajj caravan, inshallah ta'ala, and join our program. Have patience and confidence in Allah's plan for you. So remember, brothers and sisters, whatever we do, whatever Rawaf do, whatever Nusuk do, and whatever the Ministry of Hajj do, at the end of the day, this is all a part of Allah's plan. Whether you go or don't go to Hajj this year is a part, is in Allah's hands. It's not in anyone else's hands, not in Yunus, Shafiq's, or anyone else's hands. It's not even in your own hands, basically. So, have confidence, have patience in Allah, keep making that dua, keep asking Allah to, facilitate Hajj for you and make it a Hajj which is accepted. And you don't know, sometimes the sincerity comes from pain. So it comes from, that bit of hardship, will cause you to be more sincere in your dua, will cause you to be more focused in your Hajj. And even when you get your Hajj, you'll be thinking, look what I had to go through to achieve that Hajj. So, be confident in that, be happy in that, accept it, and know that what Allah's plan is for you is the best plan, basically. It's, nothing better could have happened for you, basically. So just be ready. And it doesn't excuse sometimes, systems that we have to do, and poor systems sometimes, etc. That's not our problem. That's someone else's problem. If Nusuk's a poor system, that's Nusuk's problem. If other things are out of your control, the things that you can control is your emotions, and I'm not saying you wouldn't feel down. Like Shafiq said, we were feeling anxiety and stress, and we're watching on the side and trying to support. And we've been through this a number of years. So we're not saying you don't feel emotions. Emotions are part of life, and they're part of who we are and what we are. But the key thing is just always remind yourself, and remind people who are booking with you, is a part of Allah's plan, and inshallah He's got the best plan for us. And keep making that dua, and keep having that confidence in that dua. And inshallah, like I say, in the next couple of days we'll announce the next webinar. Once we've got the information, we will announce the next webinar. And in that webinar we'll start speaking about what packages. Hopefully we'll know a more confirmed date and time for phase two. Or at least be able to give you a more accurate update regarding phase two, and we'll be able to start planning the next phase of our journey together in getting the bookings done for phase two, inshallah ta'ala. So that gives us a good opportunity, inshallah ta'ala. Like always, our support, we're here to help you. We're here for your service. We will have webinars for those who booked, for those who didn't book. Initially webinars, and then for those who booked, we'll also have some in-person meetings as well. Anytime, feel free to get in touch. You've got our telephone number there, you've got our email, and obviously on the WhatsApp, you can contact us on the group, or you can private message us, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible, inshallah ta'ala. So I think that's the slides done, and I think we can open up to questions.
Yeah, I think there's a key point that we need to mention as well, is that during this moment here where people haven't got through phase one, they're waiting for phase two, and all sorts of other WhatsApp groups, there's all sorts of hearsay and miscommunication that are from within the people. If you want clear-cut information, check our announcement group. That one we check, we double check, we triple check that the information is verified because I know it tends to kick up the panic as well that people like, oh, hang on, I've heard this, I've heard that, but yeah, we will announce a definite within our announcement group itself. You can always no check with us, but unless we've said it because we verify the information before we do it. It's verified with Rawaf and Nusuk as well, inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've got
Also, just one thing to that's yeah. So I think what Shafiq said is absolutely right. That's correct. Yeah.
we've got a few questions here. We'll run through them, inshallah. I think one of the easiest questions to pick out first is will phase two be the same as phase one, as in the
Uh,
process?
in terms of the process, we like I said, it will be easier because if 50% of the people, for example, from the UK have managed to book, and also those people who are booking from other countries that have not fulfilled their quota, so there will be less people on the system. Probably 50% or more less people on the system. Some people will drop out. Some people will, have most people have booked. A lot of people have booked. So, the system itself will be, inshallah, will be much easier. But the principle of the system will be almost the same, will be almost the same where they'll probably have the same, queue system. You queue up, you'll go in, you'll purchase, you do the bookings. When the quota finishes for the country, you'll no longer be able to book. Rawaf did tell us that there will also be a phase three. There will also be a phase three. So have that in mind that it's not just a phase two, but inshallah there will also be a phase three. Also, those people who weren't able to get verified until now, because there are some people who weren't even verified, couldn't even join the journey today. They are still waiting. So inshallah, in the next day or two, they will also get verified, and they will also be able to complete their bookings, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. There's a couple of questions here about flight. There were some issues about custom flights, group flights. What happened?
Yeah, it seemed like so the group flights. It seemed like they sold out. Now, it's to be honest with you, it seems strange that they sold out very quickly, like within 20 minutes or so. So again, I don't think I did message Rawaf earlier just to find out how the group flights sold out. They didn't have that information at hand. They were like, look, we're trying to work it out. One thing that we do know is Major Qabsh is totally sold out. That got sold out early, very early on. Some of the shifting packages were also getting sold out very quickly. So just give us a couple of days or a day or so as soon as we get that information, because everything we say now is speculation, and speculation doesn't actually, give you, anything foundational or solid to actually work on. And it's better maybe just for, give us a day or two. As soon as we've got information, we will hold another webinar and we'll go through that in detail. We've got no we want you to get to Hajj basically, and so we will do that in a way where we're transparent with you. If group flights are sold out, we'll tell you, look, these group flights are sold out. People did, because of the queuing system, actually, even booking custom flights was much easier for people than what had previously, like what the previous experience was in that. So, which was a good thing as well, alhamdulillah. So people could put more book custom flights in a much easier way. So alhamdulillah, I think all round, the system worked better. But just give us a couple of days and we will update you fully with what the picture looks like and what's left and what where we go next, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Someone's asking here, they managed to book. When can they request upgrading rooms?
Good. So continue to. So we're going to add you to the group. So we're going to contact those people who managed to book and have contacted us. We'll add you to the group, and then what we'll do is we'll send a form, and a part of that form you'll be asked. One of the questions you'll be asked is, are you looking to upgrade your room or anything like that? So you'll answer that. Now Rawaf won't deal with that until all booking phases are finished. Yeah, but what we'll do is take that information and have that ready. So as soon as they do ask us for it, we're able to provide that to them. Also, we'll ask those people who managed to book regarding, for example, room allocations. I want to be with so and so, or I want to. Yeah, so any kind of details that you've got, we're trying to get that information from you, so then we can forward that to Rawaf and make sure that they can, they're able to give us they've got that on their list. But a lot of the actual confirmations will now come post Ramadan, or post the booking phases, because at the moment Rawaf are still in that mode of selling, selling, selling. They need to sell all the packages. Once the packages are sold out, then they'll go into configuration of, okay, getting the rooms ready and making sure all the other elements are ready. And one of the reasons behind that is, for example, if they've got 20 rooms left in a particular hotel, then it's very easy to provide you with a an upgrade, like to sell an upgrade to you basically. If they haven't, then they have to go back to the hotel and ask the hotel, have you got availability, etc. So that's why they like to do all their sales first, finish that kind of period off, and then go to the next phase, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. So on this website, I can't configure my package. What should I do before phase two? Will I be able to configure later?
Yes. So just wait. Like at the moment, Nusuk's gone into what they call sales mode. So they're selling packages. Eventually, they will close sales, and then the configuration part will start again. So just wait, be patient. Everything will come about, inshallah. And like we said, we'll keep you updated as we're moving along, inshallah.
Inshallah. I mean, there are a few questions as into what's the next, the best thing for the next time. Like we say, Nusuk's sorting themselves out, then they will feed back to Rawaf, and then Rawaf will sit with us and go, okay, this is the information that we got, this is the advice that we give, and then we then sit with you and then show you all the information in the update. So the few questions that we got here, where what should we do, what time should we log in, in terms of packages and so on, we will schedule a webinar with you in the next, within this week potentially. Once we get the information, we've looked at it, then we'll share that with you. But it will definitely be before phase two. Now we are waiting to hear confirmation for when phase two is. We've been told the intention is 5 days from phase one, but until we hear a confirmation as to solidly when that is, then we will inform you. But before the phase two happens, we will give you an update. We'll give you a plan of what's happening, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a question here about how many booked from the UK. I think we had that number. How many from the UK managed to book?
So if the quota was full, so it would be, 3.5, I think it's 3.5 or 3,800 people would have booked from the UK in phase one, because that means that's the quota, and if the quota's full, then that means that's how many people actually managed to book from the UK.
And can we view phase two packages before purchasing?
Yes, yeah. So you'll go through exactly the same process. Once the kind of dust clears, as they say, we will get an idea of what packages are left, and the nusuk will be updated, and we'll give you updates in terms of, okay, look, this has got a good capacity remaining, and this has got a little bit of capacity remaining, so you'll be able to make choices, hopefully with with information at hand, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. And then we will find out about about whether there'll be group flights, custom flights. We will give you that information as well. They will look at it. Perhaps they will look at, okay, well, what worked, what didn't work? Was there something that didn't happen on their end? And they will have to tweak it and then come back to us. So we will give you all of that information as to what's happening in that sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
In terms of, do we only support, because for you, Yunus, do we only support the 4 Rawaf packages do we have, or do we support any Rawaf packages leaving from the UK?
Good. So, like we mentioned previously, currently, in terms of we can support any Rawaf package in general. Basically, what that means is anyone who's on a Rawaf package wants to join the Beyond Hajj program, where you'll get the guidance before Hajj. During Hajj, you'll be able to access our guidance, and also post Hajj, you'll be able to access, the guidance with Sheikh Farid and other mashayikh that will be joining us. You can do that via any Rawaf package, inshallah. So it's not limited to particular. The key thing you have to do there is, once Rawaf send you the survey to ask you, who's the guide that you want to be with, or where did you get your information about Hajj from. If you put the RG-5737, that will link you to us, and they'll inform us that, oh, by the way, this Hajj wants to be with you. And one of the things that we'll do is, during the days of Hajj, we'll ensure that we'll speak to Rawaf about trying to get you to be in the same tents as us, so that way the actual Hajj days are also done with us, physically. what we can't do is be with every package during the hotel stays. The reason why is because packages have different itineraries. Some will go earlier, some will come back later, and so on and so on. But what we'll do is where there's overlap between the packages that we are supporting and the package that you're on, what we can do is obviously invite you to the sessions at that same time. Or, for example, if we're going on ziyara, invite you, make sure that you're able to join us. For example, when we're having lectures, you can attend our lectures and so on and so on, be a part of the lectures and be a part of the family in that sense. Also, if not, we'll also make them available online for you so that you can listen into. We'll send you a specific Zoom link or a link where you can log in and listen to the lectures and be a part of the preparation in that sense, inshallah. So before Hajj, you'll be a part of everything. During Hajj, as much as possible, and then after Hajj, you'll be a part of everything as well, inshallah. So any Rawaf package that you're on, obviously, if you booked with another company, then it becomes much more difficult for us to do that, inshallah ta'ala. But yeah, definitely, we do advise you, and like we mentioned last year, we had visits from the likes of Mufti Menk. We had other Mashayikh joining us, Abu Taymiyyah in, delivered a lecture. We had Sheikh Imran Patel and other Mashayikh also throughout the Hajj. So, if you're able to, if you want to be a part of that and be a part of the Beyond Hajj program, then we would really recommend that you take them few steps. And the first thing to do, if you've managed to book, is just to contact us and get in touch with us, and then we will take it from there and get you into the system, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. And speaking about those who've managed to to book, sorry, they've asked the extra money that they have in the e-wallet, can that be withdrawn?
Yes, so in essence, it can be. You might want to wait a day or so, just to let always with the system going crazy a bit. Maybe it's worth just waiting a day or so. But in essence, once you've done your purchase, your wallet balance has gone down. There's nothing else that they're going to take from you. So yeah, you can request a withdrawal, and they'll give you your money back. Normally, it takes anything between 3 days and normally within a couple of weeks, the money's back. There has been odd cases where it's taken longer, but that's normally because someone paid from an account, and there's some kind of technical issue rather than a specific. But the vast majority of people will get their money back in a few days, inshallah. Yep.
Inshallah, inshallah. There's a few questions here about logging on from either from different devices or what time to log on.
Yeah, so with the strategy, I would say just wait. Let's get the date and time, and then we'll do the same thing as we did last time, where we'll build the strategy together. We'll work together. We'll work out what's the best way, and we'll go with that. It will be slightly different to the first time just because of the numbers. If half the people have managed to book, then the numbers go down. Reduce quite significantly. So inshallah, it will be slightly different. And we've also learned information from this round. Also, there might be new information coming through. So let us gather all the information, the data, and then we'll come back to you, as with the strategy and how we move forward, inshallah. Yeah.
Will other countries have access to the same Rawaf packages as the UK?
So this year, one thing that the Nusuk system did differently is they made what they called every package a public package, which means that anyone can book any package from anywhere in the world, basically, and who's anywhere on the world if you're on the Nusuk system. So it wasn't restricted to only people from UK can book packages from UK. Only people from for example, Switzerland can book packages from Switzerland. So there wasn't a restriction in that sense. So yes, and the answer I guess is yes, that people from different countries will be able to book, and that's a part of but that doesn't change anything from what happened today. It'll be the same. It'll be the same. Yeah.
Inshallah. I think those are pretty much the questions that we've had here. We've answered them. There were a lot of the questions were very, very similar, so we've answered them in one hit. Um, so yeah, inshallah, I think it's a matter. I mean, there's a question here from Sister Mariam. I would urge you to contact us. If you can you go back one slide, Yunus,
Yeah.
just so we have their contact details. Well, I'll do it now. Okay. Yeah. Sister Mariam, you mentioned about your husband being able to work and then yourself. You can reach out to us and we can have a chat about that. Inshallah, something about him being accepted and you're not accepted. Um, but that's pretty much it. Unless anyone's got any other pressing questions, those are pretty much the questions that we had today and the information that we've had. It's like a storm. A storm is flying over Nusuk at the moment. It's all over the place. We're just waiting for it to finish, them doing their tidy up, and then we can then say, okay, well, what happened during that process? And then we'll update you. So far, I think the key element is that number one, if you manage to book, get in contact with us to update us that you managed to book. If you haven't managed to book, thank Allah, just like Yunus was saying that perhaps this is better for you, better for your iman, better for your tawakkul, in preparation for Hajj, and have faith. Thank Allah for the process, but don't remove your money. There'll be a lot of people that get disheartened and remove the money from the e-wallet and then think, oh, okay, I can do it later on. The chance might have been gone by then. That means you also have an opportunity for those who've taken the money out. It gives you a better chance that to go to the booking as well, that you have more success. And last year we had a lot of people get a success from phase two. I remember that we had a significant amount of people that booked in phase two. Um, so from our end, from us, the advice is that we know phase two works. We know it works and it works very well for many people that are looking to go, that are committed to going. Yes, I want to stay on it. I need my money in it. And don't remove your money until you know for sure that all the phases are done, until we've said to you, that's it, Hajj finish, and there's no more booking. Leave your money until that last moment, until we've said phase three is happening, not happening, until that point. I know some people in the past have said to me, no, that's my Hajj money. I don't even want to touch it. Whether I go this year, next year, that's my Hajj budget right there and then. So in that sense. But that's pretty much it from us. We are going to be active on the WhatsApp groups. We're going to be active on the telephones. If you've got any questions you want to ask us, you can call us. We would recommend, you call the telephone number predominantly, because if one of us can't pick up, the other one will. We have an opportunity to answer the calls in that sense. And we're here to help you with the questions. We will reshare the information about our packages on the WhatsApp group. And if there are any changes to packages, we'll announce those as well. If there are any updates to our packages, we'll put that whether in the webinar or on the WhatsApp group itself, inshallah.
Exactly.
Any closing remarks from you, Yunus?
No, no, Jazakumullah khair to everyone. And, please dua, and that will, inshallah, get us there. Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan, everybody. And we'll be in touch via the WhatsApp, and you can always reach out to us, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan.
Inshallah.